Welcome back, everybody. Joe Everest, the fence expert. Hey, one of the most common pieces of feedback we get about the Saturday morning live Ask the Expert segment is those things are long, and they're not wrong. They last about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. Sometimes, a few weeks ago, Caleb and I got into a pretty good discussion about marketing. I think it lasted closer to 4 hours. Nobody's got time to sit through 4 hours of listening to a couple experts talk. I get it. So Jeremy's created a new segment just for you guys called Hot Takes. It's usually a shorter segment of the longer conversation, basically hitting the hot topics, if you will, of that live segment. So without further ado, here comes this week's Hot Take. David says, great from Brothers Fence and Contracting, 20 plus years. What's trending in your markets? David, this is a great question. I'd like to hear about this in the chat too. Like, what are you guys seeing in your market as far as, we could start with talking about leads. So we had this conversation at our Friday wrap-up meeting that leads are coming back. So leads probably over the last month have slowed a bit. Residential leads, commercial leads are still remain really strong. Residential leads tailed off, 4 weeks ago. And then for the last several weeks, this week, residential leads were strong again. So could be the heat. So here locally, it's been really, really warm lately. So 2 and 3 weeks ago, we had heat index warnings. So we had conversations about, the signs of heat stroke and heat related illness. People just weren't out in their yards. And then you got Labor Day, right? So people are out grilling. They're looking at their fence going, we really should get this thing, worked on or replaced before winter. So here in the middle, so where I'm in Southwest Missouri, we don't get really strong winters, right? So they're typically not prolonged. We'll have a week or so. Of course, the entire United States had a week or so, some really severe winters last winter. But that's usually that's pretty par for the course for us. It'll be bad for a week or so. The rest of the winter, kind of mild. It might snow, but then the snow's gone the next day. So we don't get a hard winter. But for whatever reason, people are very concerned about building fence in the wintertime here. So they think, I don't know what they think. I don't know if they think we just like shut down, pack up, and move everyone south for the winter or what happens. But the question we start getting right around now is, so how much longer are you guys building fence? Like, well, you mean like before winter? That's what the question is, right? So yeah. When do you guys stop building fence? We don't stop building fence. We build fence all year long because we've got bills all year long. The light bill for this place is going to come every single month. The mortgage needs paid every single month. Not to mention all of our team members, same story. Everybody's got bills 12 months out of the year. We are building fence 12 months out of the year. But right around now, right around Labor Day, everyone gets really worried. They want to get their fence in before the wintertime, which we try to educate them and say, well, if you need it right now, we will build it right now. We're 4 to 6 weeks out. We can get it in the ground for you. But if you're willing to wait till the off season, so probably late October, early November is when things really start slowing down on the residential side. You can likely get a free upgrade. Now, every winter's different. You never know for sure, but typically we'll start offering free upgrades in late October, early November. The free upgrades are going to be, if we're talking about cedar fence or a wood fence in general, we will pre-stain the cedar materials for no additional charge. Free upgrade to pre-stain cedar materials when you choose an option that includes cedar. And we issue that caveat because we do offer pine pickets and pine rails as one of our more economy tier fences, but we don't pre-stain any of the pine. It needs to season. Now, there are guys out there that will pre-season pine. God bless you. I think you should if you can. But for us here, I haven't had a great experience seasoning pine that's not on a structure, right? So pine that's nailed up, that's on a nice, strong structure, typically does pretty well. If you unbundle a bundle of pine pickets to try to get them to season and get airflow around them, they tend to start spelling letters, right? They'll warp and twist and cup and all the rest of the nasty stuff treated pine does. So we'll keep cedar on hand. We'll season cedar in our shop. We've got 4 or 5 bundles in there right now that are seasoning just to be ready for the next pre-stain job. So we'll offer a free upgrade. Now that came after I watched one of Sean King's videos where he was talking about don't discount, upgrade, right? And so if you think about it, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen another, except for the perception. The perception being, so we used to offer a discount. We used to offer a 10% discount Well, we'd start, depends on how far out we were. So as our workload started getting lighter, we'd start with a 5% discount. And then usually right around the end of the year, first of the next year, we'd bump it up to 10% discount to keep our team members busy, to keep them, because you don't want to lose guys in the middle of the winter. But if you start cutting hours, guys will start wandering away. They'll go somewhere else. Factory work here is pretty big. We've got a lot of manufacturing here that works 12 months out of the year. So if you start cutting a guy's hours and he's got bills coming up every single month, he wanders off and goes to find factory work and he doesn't come back. So we would start offering a discount usually around Thanksgiving. Well, usually before Thanksgiving, and then ratchet it up as we got further behind. The problem is once you issue a discount, everyone knows it's available. So say you gave a bid, usually this conversation comes up in late February, early March. So we would have given bids in early February. Typically in years that aren't nuts, we'd give a 30-day guarantee on our pricing, right? So in early February, we'd give a price with a discount. Well, and then work starts ratcheting up, piling up. We discontinue the discount. Well, then they'll get a hold of us the first part of March after that 30-day window, and the discount's no longer available. Now, the price is still the same, but the discount, if that makes sense, the price of installing the fence remains the same, but the discount goes away. The problem is that customer knew that discount was available. We typically end up honoring that discount just to save from having a fight. Well, and reviews on social media, right? Now, they will fight you if you take away a discount. They will understand if you discontinue an upgrade. It's perception, right? So during the winter, we offer free upgrade to pre-stained cedar materials. And then when the work starts piling up again, we'll discontinue the free upgrade and no one bats an eye. If anything, they'll ask what the charge is for the upgraded pre-stained cedar material. So we end up leading to higher upsells in the spring to pre-stained cedar material. We're also normalizing the look of pre-stained fence material here in Southwest Missouri. It's not necessarily a prominent thing to see a stained fence. Stained decks, more normal. Stained fences aren't super normal here. So a lot of folks will just build a fence and let it go to gray, which as a fence guy drives me nuts. I say for a minimal additional investment, you could really save the life of this fence or prolong the life of this fence for sure. You end up saving money in the long run. But anyway, it's not normal though. So people don't see it as being just a normal option. Now, this is going into our third or fourth year offering staining services. So we offered on-site staining first because we didn't have any of the facilities to pre-stain. Then we bought a pre-staining machine, started offering pre-stain. Then we moved into this new building where we have a shop that we could dedicate to staining. So we're making it more of a normal thing. But this is the third or fourth year of offering staining services, whether on-site stain or pre-stain. We're trying to push it. We really are. So it's starting to become more and more normal. And I know that because there's more painting contractors here locally that are now staining fences and decks. And Sean King, I keep referencing Sean, but he's got a lot of good thoughts on these subjects. It's a twofer. It's like a threefer. Benefits the client. They get a free upgrade. Benefits us and our guys because we're keeping our guys busy. We don't have guys wandering off for factory work, but also it's normalizing the look of a stained fence. So it's an easier conversation when we're talking about either offering pre-staining or if it's a fence that we've installed years ago and talking about cleaning and staining their fence to prolong the life of it. So it's kind of a win-win-win, really. All right, guys, that concludes this week's Hot Take. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you like the format? Do you not like the format? Let me know in the comments below. We're still figuring this out, and we could use your help. But for now, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll see you next time.